Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Real Quick with Mike Swick podcast. Today we have a good friend of mine, Javier Mendez, who is also the founder of AKA, my business partner here at AKA Thailand, head coach to Daniel Cormier, who's fighting Stipe Miocic this weekend at UFC 252, also head coach to Khabib and many other champions and world-class fighters. He's going to give us an update of how DC is doing, how his camp was, how fight week is going, preparations going into this huge fight this weekend, what his predictions are, everything. We're going to get all the updates right now. This is a big deal. It's a big fight. You know, the winner of this fight is said to be the greatest heavyweight fighter of all time. And that's a big deal. We're not talking about the greatest boxer, the greatest kickboxer, the greatest taekwondo. We're talking about the greatest fighter, the greatest sports combat heavyweight of all time, the winner of this fight. Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier. Javier Mendez obviously training Daniel Cormier. So let's get to it. He's on his way to train Daniel right after this podcast. So let's get this thing started. All right, Javier, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thanks, Swick. It's first time on your show. I'm really honored that you finally, after 10 years of your show, you finally invited me on. What's up?
Yeah, I know, huh? It's not like you're my favorite, most seen guest or anything, but yeah. So you are. You're in Vegas right now. I'm jealous because it's been so long since I've been to Vegas. It's been so long since I've been with you in Vegas. It's been so long since I've been at a fight in Vegas, and especially it's been so long since I've been getting ready for a fight in Vegas. So what's it like? What's it like being there for fight week for UFC 252 and this big heavyweight match with DC and Stipe?
Well, I'll tell you what, no one's talking about it. That's how much it is. Everybody's got masks on. Everything's different right here. It's the place you want to be anywhere in the U.S., but it's not like fight week, not at all.
It's so hardly weird
at all because nobody's here for fights. It's all TV driven, and so the fans are not here. So there's not a lot of fans here.
I was going to ask you the difference, at least, 'cause I knew there wouldn't be fans, but I was going to ask you the difference of like production and just, you have to assume there's going to be some fans there, but I didn't even think about the fact about masks, and it's not going to be like the flooding in the hotels when you walk through with the fans mobbing you at the elevators and stuff like the old days, huh?
No, we're talking about, I'm at the Paris hotel, and this thing has got, I would say, 80% of the restaurants are closed. Wow. Nah, bro, it's the whole, it's there's people here in Vegas, but it's not like Vegas.
Yeah, of course. What are the obligations of DC now, like, considering this is such a big fight and everything? Is he, like, compared to when we were fighting back in the day, and obviously since then a little bit, has things changed as far as his obligations? Does he have a crazy amount of media obligations to do, or is he pretty open now, got it all out of the way, and he's just kind of focusing on the cut and then the fight? Well, he's not cutting. What am I talking about?
I don't know exactly, to be honest with you, because I'm somewhere else. They're somewhere else. I don't check in until Friday, so I skipped all the obligations. The only thing I've been obligated is I come in and during the training, we train at Extreme Coutures. Yep. We go there and we get our training in. Then I'm back to my hotel. They're out doing their thing. I check in on Friday.
Yeah. How's his training going? How's everything going fight week?
Going good. Everything's on track. All the coaches got him dialed in, Crazy Bob Cook, Rosendo Sanchez, Leandro Vieira, Rudy Mendoza, they're all on track with him, and Camacho, the strength and conditioning coach. Everybody's on point with him. Everybody's doing their job. He's looking better than he's ever looked. He definitely looked better this fight than last fight. So what's going to happen is going to happen. We can't prevent or can't predict really, but what's going to happen is going to happen, but he's ready. He's ready to go.
So leading up to this fight week, and obviously his camp went better, you said, than it has before.
Yeah, this camp's better than last camp, and he was ready last time too, but let's face it, he got a little tired. The great body shots that Stipe hit him with over and over and over, I mean, they contributed to that loss. Those body shots is what on top of the fact that he was getting tired, but those body shots took a lot out of him. Even if he was in great shape, I think those body shots would have done some damage anyway. So those body shots are really key factor in the win for Stipe last time.
I think we all know like how much DC takes a loss. Like he obviously, he's a warrior. You know what I mean? You don't like to lose, and we've seen how it affects him emotionally. And that shows you how much of a warrior he is. He's not one of these guys that show up and it's like, if I lose, I lose, whatever. I'll just go on and pick myself up. Of course he'll pick himself up, but a loss to him is like death. And so like, I feel like, he definitely wants to win and he definitely hates losing. And this is like his redemption time. I feel like mentally, from his interviews, from him talking with Ariel, from him, from the things I've seen, my podcast with him as well, he seems like he's in a very confident, very hungry, very motivated place right now because he has a chance to, not beat Stipe twice or do. I mean, he has obviously beat him twice, but I mean, not in a row. This is a chance for redemption. This is a chance to like, be the best and actually put himself apart, considering he did lose the last one. So I feel like he's got that confidence and he's got that hunger that's going to be important, I think, in this fight.
It is. And, he does have the confidence. He has the motivation. He's in better shape. There's no back problems. Everything's good.
Awesome.
Hopefully we'll keep it that way and there's no injuries, but everything right now is great, and it's just a matter of the fight's the fight now. We'll do our part, and all the coaches are on track. DC's on track, and this fight here is the greatest heavyweight of all time, and not UFC all time. It includes everybody because I thought Fedor was the greatest of all time, but when you continue fighting when he did, it tarnished. He's still one of the greatest, but you can't consider him the greatest anymore because of the amount of losses and KOs that he's gotten over
yep.
When he probably should retire. But think about it. He's not much, if I'm not mistaken, they're pretty close to the same age. So
yeah.
DC is 41, going 42. Fedor might be 42. So it isn't like, there's an age difference. No. So how can you not consider DC the greatest heavyweight of all time? You have to.
And
you have to. Or if you don't win, it's got to be Stipe, hands down.
And you can compare the fact that Fedor may have had more fights early on in his career, whatever, in MMA, but then you look at the level of wrestling DC's had and the wear and tear that's taken on your body. It's the same. So, I mean, it's a very good comparison between him and Fedor as far as like the wear and tear on the body, the age, but yet DC is fighting at the highest level to be the best ever at 41 years old. Or 42.
Yes, correct. At his age. That's what I'm saying. And that's exactly what I'm saying, at his age. So can you imagine? DC started at 30, bro.
Yeah.
At 30. Can you imagine?
30
started
years.
at 22 or 19.
Jeez.
How much of a fucking wrecking machine he'd be?
Yeah.
Think about that. So how can you not? If he wins, how can you not put him in that category? You have to, unless you're biased. And there'll be people that will be biased, and of course you can't say I'm not biased towards DC. I am. But I think I speak the truth.
I think there's nobody that speaks the truth more, especially when it comes to this kind of thing and rankings and especially because he doesn't want to be biased and he wants to be fair. But when Dana himself says that this is going to be the greatest heavyweight of all time, that's enough. I mean, he's not going to be biased. You know what I mean? Like he's going to say how it is when it comes to like fights and rankings on that level. And he said it. So it's crazy. It's just crazy to me. He's at the age that he's at. And like you said, he said on the podcast with me that, he went 30 years before he ever started MMA. That's fucking crazy, man. I get so many people that ask me like, I'm 21 years old. Is it too late to start MMA? I'm 22. Is it too late for me to start MMA? And I got DC, the greatest, potentially after this fight, the greatest heavyweight to ever do it. He didn't even start for 30 years. Didn't even start MMA for 30 years. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, but let's be fair. Olympic level wrestling.
That helps.
He really did. He really did. Because hey, come on, man. If you can't stop him from taking you to the ground, you ain't stopping him at all.
Javier,
and let's face it.
If 40
his
years,
earlier career, he smashed guys, take him to the ground. If you could stand with him, you'll do well. But if you couldn't stand with him and you're on your ass, he'll maul you. And then, you were around when he was mauling people when he first started.
He mauled me.
He didn't his stand up where it's at now, but his Olympic level wrestling was the X factor. And if you're young, you can pick up 21, 22 and then pick up good skills. But if you're older, the 30 range, and you have no wrestling, you have no it's going to be a rough road.
But you can also talk about this Olympic level wrestling pedigree that he has. He also knocked out Stipe at 40 years old. So, I mean, he obviously is a prodigy in MMA, to use his striking abilities. and not even using wrestling and still beat the best in the world at their own game.
Yeah, he is. He's definitely. I mean, hey, and if the people really got to know him, what a beautiful person he is, and just a, damn hell of a. It's like Mike Tyson. Recently, I heard just said that he is surprised that DC isn't more popular than he is because once you know him and you meet him. Tyson said he's a great guy, and people should be way behind this guy more so than they are. There are people a lot of behind them now. Don't get me wrong, but he should be more so the kind of person he is. And if you see the incredible athlete that he is, you would go, "Wow, Jesus Christ, what the hell?" Yeah. I've been sleeping under a rock. This guy, one of the greatest of all time, and he's acting like a normal person to me. He doesn't act like anything different. It's amazing. It's the way he carries himself that really propels him in that status for me to think of him that way. It's amazing. He's just great.
It's better for the later of his career after fighting, but it's no controversy. That's why he's not out there doing crazy dumb shit, and he's not showboating and like spending most of his time with antics and running the mouth. So it's like that's why he hasn't had that hype that some of the other fighters have. But he's been the best fighter. And I think that's going to carry on through his post-career, being a commentator and the things that he loves to do, because he carried himself so well. He's respected, and he won't be there won't be hundreds of videos of him acting like a jackass, through the years, just to get those moments of popularity and fame and attention.
Yeah, if they're going to get him for anything, they're going to get him for off season. He's going to love to eat.
Yeah, of course. And there's nothing wrong with that.
That's about the best they're going to do on him. They're going to get him eating, eating good food and getting himself thick again. That's it. I mean, But other than that, he's a beautiful human being. I mean, he spends time with his kids and wrestling kids, and man, he's just a workaholic. What he does and what he gives back for the kids it's unbelievable. And I've never seen anybody of his stature that's that big that gives back to the youth like he does. Nobody. I've never even heard of anybody that does what he does. None of them. Like, hey, listen, for instance, like if the wrestling season was going on, and I usually train them on Saturdays before a fight, right? If let's say this last Saturday, before we came here, he put himself in a situation where I'm going to train him, or there's a tournament, a kids wrestling tournament. Where do you think he's going to be? Now, you got the most important fight of your career. His last 11 fights have been title fights. His last 11 fights have been title fights. Crazy. The only one that was Anderson Silva, and that's because Anderson Silva on late notice didn't want to come in and do a 5-round deal in 3 rounds. But for all that time, this guy on a Saturday, if there's wrestling going on, he's not with me. He's gone. He goes, Hob, I'm going to skip practice today. I go, okay. I'm not going to tell the guy, hey, get your ass in here. You need it. No, he needs to be for his kids, be there for them, and that's what he's done. I don't know of anybody that would do that. I know for damn sure when I was fighting, I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I know it. So I'm a kind of selfish in that way. I go, man, I got to protect myself. No, he'll sacrifice himself, the training, to go take care of the kids in wrestling. Who does that?
I'll be honest with you. I'm the same way. I'm the same way as you, man. I was selfish in my fight career and doing what I wanted to do when I wasn't training so hard because you guys were killing me in the gym. But I've been surprised so many times when I came home from Thailand when he was a champ and when he was at the top level, and I'd come into AKA, the off times or different times of the day, and he'd be training the wrestling program, and I'm just like, wow, just wow. Like, you don't see guys at his level teaching people. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't usually. Like, maybe later on in their career or something like that. But like when they're at the height of their career, they could be doing TV stuff. They could be doing movies. They could be doing resting. Just doing working on their own techniques, their own stuff. He's in there just loving, like, and when you see him teaching, you can attest to this, Hav. It's not like he's in there just because like he feels obligated or something. Like, he genuinely loves being in there. He's yelling and excited, and like it's crazy. I mean, he's an ambassador of the sport, and there's not enough good things you can say about him, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's not enough good things you can say about him, and he does so many good things. And I said, DC. He goes, Hob, did you do this? I go, yeah, I did that. He goes, why'd you do that, Hob? I go, because people need to know what kind of person you are. They need to know how humble you are, how grateful, and how much you give back to the community. He goes, Hob, I don't do that for that reason. I go, I know you don't. Because if you did, you'd advertise it. You don't. But people need to know you because they don't understand. And that's why people go do what they do, so people can get to get more fans. Like, and it's a lot of, in all fairness, a lot of these professional athletes, they're told, oh, go to this clinic, oh, go to the Cancer Foundation. Oh, go this and go that. And they'll do it because it's publicity for them. DC does it with no publicity because that's who he is, and that's what people they're not getting. And the people that are on board with him, they know that. Like you and I know that. And other people, fans are starting to know that, but not enough know that. Because if enough knew what he does outside of the fight game, he'd have way more fans, and he'd be the perfect ideal situation where you go, hey, you want to be a fighter? You want to be like DC? You want to be like Khabib? Those are the type of fighters that perfect, man. They're just loyal, and they really don't screw up.
He'll gain freedom,
except when they fight. Khabib will fight anybody when he's in a fight.
Of course. He'll gain freedom, though. He'll have a little bit, with that fame comes loss of freedom, as we've seen. So he'll have a lot more freedom to be able to enjoy himself a lot more when his career is over and when he's doing commentating and continuing on with whatever else he's doing. He won't be like Khabib, you know what I mean? Like where you got to have like 50 people around you and you can't even like walk into a freaking store or so he'll have a little bit more freedom. But it's incredible. Are there any stories from the gym? I know how DC is. I know how crazy he is and stuff like that. Is there anything interesting that happened during this fight camp that stands out? Just any cool stories that you can tell me? Just real fast.
No, not on this one. Not on this one.
Just training, huh?
No, this one. Yeah, just training. The training was done at his house, and I didn't see him very much at all. This one, but I'd go train him on a Thursday and Saturday. I didn't train him as much. I'd watch some of the sparring at my gym, but then he elected to stay at his gym. He built at his house. He built his own gym at his house, so he had a lot of the key fighters that needed to go there. And the problem for me is I had responsibility of being at the gym with other fighters that had fights coming up.
Right.
So we're not open, but we are open for some of the guys that select few that I let them have one or two sparring partners, and they got to stick with them and the whole bit, because this COVID thing is, it's highly contagious. And though I don't know of one fighter that's actually training that died as a result of the COVID, but obviously how serious it is, and other people, you and I may not die from it, but somebody we know or loved one might. So DC decided he better just train at his house.
Yeah, safe. And he can do it. He knows what he's doing. There's no doubt about that. Shit, lost my train of thought for 2 seconds. I was going to ask you though. Fuck my life.
Your life? You fuck your life?
I fucking had the best. I had something so important to say, and it just fucking left like the fucking. Like the wind blew it. Important. Like the wind just blew it like right out of my head. Like it's early in the morning.
It's out of your head.
What the fuck was I going to say?
He's out of your head. Or coughed out of your head.
This isn't even helping me now. Now it's like even worse. I was going to ask about DC. No, I don't want to ask. So we're back to normal, and that was just an act. I totally remember what I was going to say. What I was going to say was, I know you obviously study opponents and mindsets and things like that. Where do you think? I'm not saying you saw Stipe so far this fight week, or you've seen him recently, or interviews or whatever. But where do you think his head is? And give me an evaluation just real quick on Stipe. Where do you think he is? What do you think he's thinking? And how do you think he's going to come after DC and try and take this fight? Let's reverse it.
Well, I think he's going to come in fantastic shape again. I think he might even come lighter than last time. Because he was lighter the second time than the first time. Yep. And I think he's even going to be lighter because movement is good for him, and cardio is good for him. And you saw how he dug to the well. He was losing every round, and he stuck in there. He's in great shape. And I think that he's going to do that. And he's going to definitely, when you go to the well and you hit the body shot like he did as many times as he did, I guarantee you he's going for that body again, and he's going to change it up too. Yeah. So he's going to go to the body. He's going to change up to go to the body, go somewhere else. If their coaches are good, they're going to do that. So if you're a world champion, one of the greatest of all time, like he is, your coaches are usually really, really good. So I'm assuming his coaches are going to have him go to the body, but then change it up, make it look like they're going to the body, go somewhere else. So I think a lot of that's going to happen. DC, because he has so many different coaches, they all tell him. I tell him things. Bob tells him things. Rosendo tells him things. Leandro tells him things. And the jiu-jitsu end, Rudy Mendoza helps him out. And Camacho, Chris Camacho, who's a strength and conditioning coach. Actually, Chris Camacho too is because Camacho's been around a lot of the great boxing trainers. Like right now, he's with Galopin. Getting ready to fight. I think who's going to get? He's going to fight. Probably. What do you call it? He's geared to fight somebody right now. But if he wins, he's going to fight the guy that he had won. What's his name? The guy from Mexico. Jesus, what's his name? I got a brain fart like you just did.
The wind just caught you.
You know. What's his name? The Mexican guy from Mexico.
You just asked me who the Mexican guy from Mexico is. I don't follow boxing. Yeah. I know Mike Tyson's fighting Roy Jones.
Mexican, he's from Mexico. Yeah.
You're talking about Canelo.
Yeah, I'm talking about Canelo. I'm talking
about. I was hoping you said yes, so I didn't look bad.
He's training with Galopin right now.
Conditioning.
Yeah, and so they're getting ready. If they win this next fight, they're going to do the big fight with Canelo again.
That's
what he said.
Yeah, I know Canelo.
And then Chris is
I know the main guys
too. You know, so and rather what I'm saying, DC's among world-class coaches is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, of course. And you know what? From the podcast I had with him, he seems like I told him, like I told you, I said that I don't think he'd ever lost a fight had he stuck to a game plan to just win a fight only and not get out there and fight, not get out there and try to compete with your opponent and beat him at his own game and look flashy and all this kind of stuff. And I told him the same thing, and he so much agreed without like saying it. But you know, like I feel like without saying anything, and I don't even know your strategy and all we all are planning on doing for this fight. Obviously, I can only imagine, but I feel like he is definitely taking it serious, and he is going to fight the smartest fight possible. And the good thing about DC is he's never going to have a safe fight. Like, you know, we could sit there and say he could have a safe fight and beat everybody, but it's like a safe fight for DC is not a boring fight. Like, DC can make an exciting fight anywhere. So it's not like he's going to go grab somebody around their waist and hold them down and just lock their arms up like Berkman did to Meek, you know, and like in our fight. Like, he's going to be exciting no matter what. So I am super pumped to see him go out there. I think he's in his great form mentally from our podcast, and I think he's going to go out there and fight a great fight. And hats off to Stipe. Stipe is one of the best fighters in the world. I think he's an amazing fighter, and I think he's going to put up a hell of a fight because he's going to know what to expect, just like DC is going to know what to expect as well. And these two warriors are going to go out there, and I think we're going to be left with the greatest heavyweight of all time. And obviously we're biased, and we hope that's DC, and that's our goal.
Of course.
But I'm excited. I'm excited for it.
Can you imagine what kind of execution I get if I really believed otherwise? Yeah. It's like, I hate to tell you, but you're no longer my coach.
Yeah, exactly.
No. The truth.
I think I can't believe the odds are so close. You know, like I know we have inside knowledge on DC, and we've been around him for so long, and we've seen his capabilities and what he's done, and the mistakes he's made. I think were all mistakes he didn't have to make, depending on his own mindset. But the point is, I'm surprised the odds are so close. But then again, you're talking about the two best heavyweights in the world. So I mean, like that's what makes this fight solidify the greatest. You have two guys that are so evenly matched. So I'm excited to see the fight. I'm excited to check in with you right afterwards, and hopefully I can see some action of DC being excited and happy afterwards, and if everything goes as planned, and that belt comes back to AKA again. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the plan, right? And like you said, DC, he's known for not following the plan.
Yeah,
and it hasn't turned out. He's
not a warrior, man. He just wants to go out there and be a warrior.
But I'll tell you with this, 100%, he's never lost when he followed the plan. Never lost.
And that's why I said he would never lose. Plan,
destroys people.
All right, let me ask you this, and I wasn't going to ask you this because I didn't want to seem disrespectful because I don't want to make it look like DC doesn't listen or something. But I do want to ask this question.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Sometimes.
Right, but that's exactly why I said DC, I felt like he would never have lost a fight had he stuck to the game plan. But let me just ask you this, and this is no disrespect to DC, because the only reason DC's never not stuck to the game plan is because he's a fucking savage warrior who wants to fucking destroy people at their own game. It's not like he's scared or he got intimidated or he freaked out. So there's no way that this is an insult. In your opinion, and without giving his strategy away or game plan, how close do you think this time he will stick to the winning quote unquote, the coach's winning strategy? Like, how close do you think compared to before that he will stick to it and he'll go out there and fight to win this fight?
Okay, well, the last time I was 50-50 on it. This one I'm more like 90-10.
Yeah, I feel the same way. He pretty much said it. I mean, in my podcast, he pretty much said the same thing. So I feel the same way. And that's good.
Yeah. He talked about it. We all talk about it. We have a conversation. All the coaches, they give their input at the end of the workout. And we say, okay, so it's like you're mentally going over in your head how you're supposed to fight, what you're supposed to do. This way, as your thought process goes through it, your actually coaches are telling you too. So you got everything. You're going through it in your mind, but your coaches are telling you the things you should be going through your mind. And he's got some great coaching. Crazy Bob Cook, your coach also. So you know how great Crazy Bob is, and Crazy Bob's fantastic at advice and how to fight and what you did wrong and what you did right. He's unbelievable there, and he hits it on the nail every time.
Yep, absolutely. Both of you guys have gotten me out of trouble in fights because I just listened to you guys, and I didn't. It wasn't that I was even confident it was going to work. I just listened because I was like, shit, I can at least blame it on them if it doesn't happen, and it pulled me out of a lot of situations. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to take a second to thank our sponsor, a.k.a. Thailand, the world's premier luxury training resort here in Phuket, Thailand. I know it's quarantine time right now if you're watching this podcast in real time, so we are offering a 30% off special if you pre-book group training. That's for 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, however long you want to book, and there's no expiration date, guys. So you can book this training at akthailand.com right now, save 30%. That's a third you can save off your group training, which can help pay for your flight, pay for your food, pay for whatever else you want to pay for on your trip to Thailand. And you can use it anytime. So no matter when this quarantine ends, whether it ends in a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, whether you come in 2021 or 2022, you can still use this training at any time. There's no expiration date. So I will say this is the best sell we've ever done. The biggest sell we've ever done, the biggest sell we will ever do. I'll never go more than 30% off ever. And this has been for all of you guys in quarantine that want to come. We've gotten so many messages. We've sold so many of these pre-sales already. So I know you guys are fired up and excited and appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys being appreciative and showing how dedicated you are and motivated you are to come make a change to yourself and come train here in Thailand and pre-book your training. So we are keeping this open until they announce the flights are open back to Phuket. Right now, the international flights are not open. You cannot fly into Phuket. They're saying September 26th is when the date is, but they haven't announced anything. Once they announce the date, the sale's going to be over. I'm sorry, guys. It's going to end. So you're going to have to book, I would say ASAP, because they could announce it tomorrow and then the sale's over. Because once they announce the date that the flights are open, we're going to start getting a ton of more bookings, a ton of more people coming, and then we're just going to be losing 30% over and over again. It's going to cost us a lot of money. Right now, we have the least amount of people paying because the quarantine and because you guys can't actually come here. So that's why we're offering you such a great deal at 30% off. So if you're planning on coming, book now, akthailand.com. And if you want to get a travel package or an all-inclusive package of some kind that has the motorbikes and the accommodations, which we can outfit you with a package where you can just book and pay online and you do nothing but fly to Thailand. We pick you up VIP style from the airport. We take you to your hotel. We get you a motorbike to drive around with. We set you up with a meal plan where you can have 2 to 3 meals a day, not have to worry about your food. You have access to whatever package you get. You have access to the classes in that package. It could be all the classes that we have. And you have to worry about nothing. You pay one time and everything's taken care of. So if you want to do a group package, email us at info@akthailand.com. I will still take 30% off of the group training part of that package. I can't take it off everything because everything is outsourced. So we can't get the same discount from the accommodation and from the motorbike, even though the package is already discounted. I will take 30% off the group training and reduce the price of your overall package even more, saving you even more money. You're getting like a double special. So email us at info@akthailand.com. And I will honor that. Best time to buy, guys. Seriously, this is the highest rated gym in the world. Check us out on TripAdvisor, read the reviews, see what the customers have to say. Our customers are amazing. We appreciate all the support. The reviews on TripAdvisor are so extensive, and they write so much detail about their stay, and the pictures and the photos, and which is the same thing, pictures and photos, and their stories and their experiences. You can really get a good idea of what it's about. And it's for all levels, guys. It's for all levels. It's not just for fighters. Our gym is for, we have customers that have, or guests, I should say, that have no experience. And they just want to come here and have a good time and train with world-class trainers and train alongside professional fighters or train alongside other people like themselves. We put everyone in their own groups together. And then we have amateur level fighters and pro level fighters and amateur to medium level fitness athletes, that might have some fitness experience and train on a regular basis, and some that have none. So guys, this gym is for everybody. One more thing before I let you go. We also are an official school in Thailand. You think it can't get any better, and it just gets better. We're also a school in Thailand. So that means we created an official school that happens to be an award-winning school. We are one of the best sports schools in Thailand. We have an award for that. I don't have it to show you right now, but you can actually email us and we'll show you. We are an award-winning school in Thailand, which means we can enroll you in our education program and give you a 6 to 12-month visa. That means when you come to Thailand as a tourist, you can only stay for 3 months. You can stay for 1 month, and you can possibly get a 3-month visa. In our education program, we can enroll you as a student, and you can stay for 6 months, or you can stay for a year. So you don't have to worry about going in and out and making trips and wasting money just so that you can stay legally in Thailand. You can stay there for an entire year, train, get all your stuff done, have everything taken care of, and not worry. And every single detail that you need taken care of will be done with our administration. We will take you to immigration personally. You'll be in there the shortest amount of time possible than anybody else. They'll do all the work, the legwork, translation, help you out if you have any kind of accidents, run-ins with the police at checkpoints because maybe you were speeding or didn't have your helmet. They will take care of everything for you. We are full service, 5-star, highest rated gym in the world. If you don't know who we are, you haven't heard about us yet, here's a commercial. Enjoy.
What's up, everybody? I am here in Thailand. This is the first time I've ever been here. Been dying to come here for years. Mike Swick, he's one of the big reasons he's been trying to pull me down here. What he built down here, AKA Thailand, is incredible. There's people here from all over the world. You can train mixed martial arts here, jiu-jitsu. They have weightlifting, they have cardio, and obviously they have Muay Thai, boxing, everything. I'm telling you guys, I know everybody wants to go to Thailand because Thailand's so cool, but you can't come to Thailand without coming to AKA Thailand. Come on.
I want to get to Khabib real fast. How's Khabib doing? Like, what are the updates on him? I know he's obviously looks like he's focused back on training. He's doing good. You were in Dagestan, and you've seen him train. You've seen his setup there. You've seen his regimen there. What can you say about how he's doing right now, and how he's feeling and how he's training?
I've talked to him about 3 weeks ago. And he was telling me that they're going to send me out after DC's fight, and I'm not sure where. I don't think it's Russia because I don't think I can get in Russia. But he said he'll let me know. I know it's not U.S. And the reason why I say not U.S. us because he asked me how's it at the gym. I said not good. He goes not good idea. I said no, not a good idea, not this time. And why I'm bringing it up here is because Khabib gets, I kid you not, anywhere in the neighborhood from 30 to 50 visitors that come watch, stay outside and just be there to get a glimpse of him, get a picture or autograph. And they make a trip around that, and I don't want the fans that love him that much that making the trip to come to San Jose because they expect him to be there and all of a sudden they come, there's no one there. Right. I don't want that, because I feel bad for them, and it's like they're the reason why we are where we're at. and you're gonna say, well, screw the fans. No. You know, my feeling is, hey man, you're making that much of an effort to come see one of my guys. You're keeping my job and what I do happy, and I'm content with what I'm doing because of what you fans do. So I don't want to lead him wrong and say, hey, you know, screw you guys. You know, not going to tell you. No, he's not going to be there. You know, so it's just, it needs to be said. He's not going to be at San Jose AK for the first time. You know, and we'll find out where. But I'm leaving after DC's fight, and then we'll see where we're going to go. And you know, he's in shape all the time. He goes between his where he right now he's at the mountain village. There's like 2 mountain villages, and then he's got the main house in the Mahakashala, the main city, right? He's got one there, and he's got 3 homes there in the main city. And his brother and his father all next to him. He built homes for all 3 of them. And I guess in the mountains, same thing, because I was there too. And so he's there with his mother because he said his mother's still going through a hard time, and he is too. But his motivation is to fulfill his father's legacy. Yeah. You know, so that's kind of like about the only things we really discussed. And he has to go out there and smash people to fulfill his father's legacy, and that's the goal. That's why he's coming back sooner than some people expected, because
I was surprised.
He has a legacy to fulfill. Yeah, he's got a legacy to fulfill, and he's got obligations that you know, if you want to honor your father, and what better way, right? What better way than to honor what a great man his father was than to fulfill his father's, you know, what he wanted for the city in Russia, and just for everybody in general, martial arts, and what he wanted for Khabib.
Yeah, I was surprised about him coming back so soon, but it was a surprise. Like, if it was anyone else, I would be surprised and worried. With Khabib, it's I'm surprised, but like, I'm not worried, because like, there's only one reason why he's coming back early, and it's not to make money. It's not for fame. It's not. I mean, he's coming back with vengeance. And I was going to ask you, because you're so close to Khabib, and you know him so well. Obviously, we've seen fighters go through hardships, and this is a big hardship that he's going through with the loss of his father, and other hardships, relationships, and stuff like that. And they've came back, and some have done okay, some have done better, some have done worse. What makes you think Khabib is going to come back in this fight after dealing with this hardship and be stronger and better? Like, what are the factors that come into play in your mind that set him apart from many or all of the other fighters in the world, pretty much?
Well, his mental strength and his belief in himself and what his father's instilled in him, and how much he loved his father, and how he wants to prove, you know, that he can do what his father set out for him to do, you know, and that's why I think he's going to come out more on the positive end than the negative end. I mean, obviously, we're not there yet, so we don't know 100%, but I would say I'm 99% that he's going to be able to fulfill what happened here as a tool to energize himself and to complete the legacy that his father set out for him. And I myself, you know, became a champion because of my father's words. You know, you'll never amount to anything. You know, and I'm like, I was like, what? And you know, he's laughing like, you'll never amount to anything. And I'm like, okay. I'm like thinking, you know, why are you dad? Why are you dad? Goes, hell, you're not gonna amount to anything. I go, so that dug deep inside, bro. And I was like, oh, no, I'm gonna amount to something. And then when I became something, I told my dad, I say, hey, remember you told me I wouldn't amount to nothing? He goes, look, and he goes, I was only kidding. And I said, you know what? Whether you were kidding or not, it's still dug in deep, you know, and I'm not mad at you for it, but actually I should be grateful to you because look what I've done as a result. So I'm just saying you can use it for the good or the bad and how you want to perceive it. I used it for good. I used my father's negativity for positively. Well, Khabib's using his father's passing as a positive thing to reinforce what his father had wished for him. You know, we're totally opposites, but father's words and father's wishes can work both ways.
Yeah, I can relate to that. You know, it's crazy because I think you know this, obviously, but I've never used this in interviews or to try to use it to boost my story or my background or my motivation or anything. But losing my father since we're talking about fathers, losing my father when I was a young boy, and the circumstances around it was the biggest motivation I've ever had in my life to be a fighter. And so when you see me go out there and fight, you know, obviously I was aggressive and I fought super hard. That was pure emotion. Like, I can't tell you how many times, and you've probably seen that I went in the locker room, went in the bathroom stall before I walked out, and like I had a picture of my father, and like I literally had tears in my eyes and emotion before almost every one of my UFC fights, because like of that fire, and that emotion's dangerous because that's won me all those aggressive fights that I've won where I look like a savage, which I'm not really a savage in real life. I'm not running out beating people up and doing violent things or anything. That's emotion. That's pure emotion turned into like, I guess, some sort of rage to try to accomplish that goal. And it's weird that the same situation with me with my father, like losing him at a young age was the same situation. Like I wanted to make him proud and do something, and fighting was my outlet. And that's what I thought about for my fights. And that's why, I was fighting tears back multiple times as I walked out, like walked out in front of the crowd. You're supposed to be enjoying that moment and seeing the crowd and thinking about the fight. I was holding tears back many times. And I don't cry. You've seen. You probably never see me cry at all. If you have seen me cry. You see me cry when I lose a couple fights, and one fight that I won. But you know what I'm saying. I'm not like a crybaby or anything. But like it's definitely been an emotional thing, and I think that's what's going to happen with Khabib, and I think it's going to turn him into a dangerous person, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's my job to get relaxed and to, not to be over aggressive, and just keep himself composed. And that's an important job. He's going to do the fighting, but I have to be behind, getting his head right, to not overdo it, because you can overdo it and you can make mistakes. And, especially someone as dangerous as Justin, if you underestimate him, you cannot underestimate someone as great as Justin. And let's face it, he's a great fighter. Yep. As a date, Khabib's fought every type of fighter, but the one thing that he hasn't fought is a guy with the wrestling. He hasn't fought anybody with the wrestling credentials of Justin. He's fought good wrestlers, but not like, not the level of Justin type of wrestling. And Justin's never gone to the ground. So everybody, obviously, if he's that easy to take down, then a lot of people would have tried to take him down. But most people stand with him because they figure that trying to take Justin down is too hard, and rightfully so. Look, Tony, he didn't really try to take Justin down much at all. That's why, because it wasn't going to be easy. But this is the thing Justin has to be prepared for, and he is for someone that is going to try to look at taking it down. And if he misses one time, misses two times, misses three times, it doesn't go to stand up, you're going to have to keep defending the takedown till the end of the fight. That's just the way it is. Khabib ain't going to stop. I don't mentally have him, okay, try 3 or 4 takedowns and then stand up. Hell no. You still got 5 rounds in you. Your 5 rounds, you shoot 20 times if you have. That's it, because the bottom line is, it takes a lot of energy to shoot, but it also takes a lot of energy to defend too. Yeah.
So Justin has said he's going to make this into like a car accident of a fight where he's going to get in the zone, and when Khabib gets into that zone, it's going to be, bone crushing, fist punching his head, heads hitting each other. Justin's hands hitting his own head, just crazy stuff like that. Does that, obviously you believe stuff like that because Justin is kind of that crazy kind of fighter, and he thinks that's the only way to beat Khabib, which is, that says a lot, that he's given Khabib that kind of respect, that's what it's going to take to beat him, is that reckless type of fighting and hoping that something lands. Do you see that as something more on the dangerous side for Khabib, or do you see that more on the reckless side, coming in like that, where he's just going to go crazy every time Khabib gets in that zone?
It's both. It's kind of like perfect and kind of like your only chance. So it's kind of like, but it's also you're also your biggest danger too.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can either play the safe route and stay back, which, I think that's actually a good game plan. It's actually good, And it's not like there's no game plan what we're doing. We're going to take him down.
Yeah, of course.
We can stand with him. He's a good stand-up guy, but so's Khabib. We can stand with him, but we're not going to. Everybody knows. I say father's plan all the time. The reason why I call it father's plan, because number one, I know what his father wanted without ever talking to him. And number two, if I say father's plan, then it resonates with him as, okay, he don't want Hobbs' plan. He wants father's plan.
Yeah.
So, no, we're looking to take him down, and we're looking to take him down in the middle of the ring, on the cage. People will say, stay in the middle, Khabib. Okay, stay in the middle, whatever. But you're still going to have to defend the takedown in the middle or against the cage. Doesn't matter. He's an expert at taking you down. He's done it time and time again. Division I wrestler is a tougher nut, no doubt. But also, too, you got to worry about Khabib's punching. You can't be sleeping on just looking to defend a a takedown and not worry about getting punched in the head and knocked out. That can happen too.
And Khabib's going to do it. He'll throw.
Khabib, I mean, yeah, more and more dangerous because he's able to hurt you in so many different ways.
Yeah, and I mean, Justin's had success with stuffing takedowns, and it's like, yeah, I can see him stuffing a couple takedowns, but it's like, how many can he stuff? I mean, like, Khabib's not going to stop, and that's the thing people don't realize is it's just one to another to another to another to another. So it's like, unless you have 4 people that are fresh, that are great wrestlers, and they're still not as unorthodox and different style as Khabib is, coming at you constantly in your camp, you can't prepare for something like that. You can't prepare for the level of intensity Khabib brings with those takedowns, and just the ferocity and just the amount of them, the quantity of just until he gets you down. It's like he's going to keep going. He's not going to stop. And again, once he gets a hold of you and gets in that close position, that's when it's the hardest to knock him out. So it's like once he grabs you and gets in there, that's when Justin's going to have the hardest time to knock him out, because he's not going to be standing in front of him. He's going to be holding on to him. And as you know, his grip strength and his overall strength is just beyond crazy for his weight.
Yeah, well, one of the things that, one thing everybody realizes about Khabib, on the outside, I can deal with it. When the inside, when they're gripping with him, they go, man, I didn't realize. Dustin didn't realize. He thought that he'd be able to handle him on the ground and submit him. And I mean, Khabib put himself in a chokehold on purpose, and it didn't get nothing for that result. His father and I, when Khabib did that, we just looked at each other. We're looking at each other like this. We go, like, what? It's like, you're going to burn your arms out. That's what Khabib wanted, and they did it, And I mean, man, I've never seen the boy tap. He never tapped anybody. The closest guy that I have seen almost tap him was Kyle Crutchmer. And I thought for sure he was done. I thought, that's it. He's choked. That's it. Done. And I go, I can't. And I was going to video it. Because I go, man, I'm a brainwash. I'm going to basically tell Khabib, give me money or I'm going to show people you getting tapped, right? Well, he did tap. I should have filmed it to show how great he is, because everybody said, oh, he's done. Nope, didn't tap. No, and then I said, my God, I've never seen you come close to tapping. And I thought I was going to see. He goes, yeah, Coach, the other person almost had me was Luke. Because Luke Rockhold almost choked me out too one time. I said, wow. I go, Luke, he didn't get you. He goes, no.
That's crazy to me.
Incredible.
People don't realize how crazy that is, but that's crazy. Like, everyone gets tapped in the gym repeatedly, usually, especially when they get tired. And it's crazy that he can withstand that, because I remember when I came in for my last fight, and of course I was older, but Luke's not young himself, and he wrapped me up so many times. He took everybody's confidence and rolled it into a ball and just threw it into the ocean. He wrapped me up so much. He's such a phenomenal grappler. And he's so much bigger than Khabib, and he uses his length. So just them grappling together when they're both fresh, for Luke not to ever catch him would be crazy. More or less when they're training and tired and everything else. Like, that says a lot, he's not a quitter. We know that. We know he's not a quitter,
No.
Why? No. Let me just ask you.
That's what makes him strong.
Let me ask you really fast, because you were super pixelated. We'll get on. I know you got to go. We'll get through this really fast. But just since you were pixelated, I'm going to cover this really fast again. What is it that you see as the most dangerous aspects of Gaethje's game? Like what are the things that we're going to have to look out for the most? Obviously, his striking, you can easily say, is a broad spectrum threat. But what do you think is the most dangerous things to look for in Gaethje when he's against Khabib?
Well, the brawler mentality and the throwing the leg kicks the way he does, those are potentially good. What potentially bad is if he goes too much to the well with those leg kicks, Khabib's going to pick him up and take him down off of that. He's really good at picking those kicks and taking them down. But Justin is so aggressive that you're gonna have to time those things perfectly, and Khabib can do it. So that's one way. The brawling aspect, that in your face, I'm gonna throw, caution to the wind type thing, that could work in his favor. The more relaxed, stay back type thing, that's not gonna work. So I don't see that. I see Justin coming in, like you're saying, he's gonna come in, but good punching, good kicking, and good takedown defense. Well, actually, not just good, great takedown defense.
Yeah.
But how great is this takedown defense compared to how great Khabib's, offense on takedowns is? I personally don't think it's good enough. I don't think anybody I've seen in the lightweight division's takedown defense is good enough. I think Justin's is probably one of the best there is out there, but I don't think it's good enough, and that's why I think that eventually, with enough times Khabib trying, he'll eventually take him down. He may take him down the first try, he may take him down the 5th try, maybe the 10th try. I don't know. But once he takes him down, that's when it's a night and day deal, because I don't think Justin, because he doesn't, even though he does it at gym and at practice, he's never done it in a fight, bro.
Yeah. And
that's going to change a lot for him in a fight, not being on the ground, because he's never done it.
Yeah.
Never done it. Have you ever seen him on the ground in a fight? Never. So once he's there, it's unfamiliar territory for him, and he's not going to learn how to relax as well as he does with the stand-up. Stand-up, he's going to be good. Going to be fine. But once he's get taken down, that's when things are going to be bad for him, because he's never done it in a fight.
And just also because you're so close to Khabib, what is he fighting for? We know he's not. I know he's not fighting for money. I know he's not fighting for fame. He's already accomplished all those things to take care of his family and do all these things. And I know the legacy of his father is a big deal. What is his main thing that he wants to accomplish, do you think, in this sport now that he's already accomplished everything else?
If I have to say something, 30-0, undefeated, retired, undisputed. The greatest lightweight of all time, which he is now. But if he beats, he wants GSP for his final fight.
Yep.
And if he gets GSP and he beats GSP, he'll be the greatest fighter pound for pound of all time, in my opinion. And I think almost everybody else's opinion across the board is going to give him that. They're going to give him that because, listen, all the fights he's had in the UFC, he's only lost one round. That was to Conor. And that was because he chose to stand. Before that, Daniel Cormier had the distinction of never losing a round until he fought Jones.
Right.
Before that, Daniel never lost a round. And then he fight Jones. So Khabib's only lost one round. So Khabib's way ahead of everybody in the round department. Never lost a round. Now, like GSP's lost rounds, he's lost fights, and everybody has, except Khabib's has the least amount of rounds that he's lost out of any active great champion that's ever fought.
And he's never lost. 28. Yeah. What is it? 28, right? 28 now.
28 and
crazy.
So yeah, when you look at the record book, you go, how can you not?
Guys.
I mean, and look at the competition. They're killers. Killers.
And do you want that fight with GSP? I mean, do you really want him to have that fight if he wins against Justin? Obviously.
100%, I want that fight with GSP, and I think GSP wants it too. But we'll see if that materializes, and then of course to fulfill the legacy, I think if Tony can get a win and the UFC offers Tony, I think that's potentially can put a legacy fight too. The big money fight is Conor, but I'm not so sure that Khabib wants that fight. But who knows? You never know, right? Anything's possible. But I think first and foremost, I think get by Gaethje. You got to get by Gaethje. Then go after GSP. Go after that legacy fight. He's already done it. He's already did a Instagram post. He's talking about this, and then go on to GSP in April. That's what he said. So I'm not saying anything different than what he said. And I just think that if the GSP doesn't go, I think the next is going to be they're going to probably throw Conor or Tony. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And that would be crazy that we finally get the GSP fight after we've had that fight 3 times before and we didn't win against GSP. And now it'd be crazy to get that fight so many years later and actually have it against our best fighter that's ever been and possibly get that win finally. That would be incredible.
Yeah, we're 0-3 against GSP.
We're 0-3. But hey, fun fact though, I'm 3-0 against his teammates. I beat Vigno, I beat David Loazo, and I beat Goulet. So I'm 3-0 against his teammates, but I never got to fight GSP, and I lost that opportunity. So that's not much to brag about, but whatever.
3-3 deadlock. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, kind of against Team GSP.
Make the tiebreaker in our favor.
I got to take whatever I can. So listen, hey, I appreciate you coming on here. I know you're rushing to go train DC right now, and give DC my best. I wish the best for him. We're rooting for him here in Thailand. I know he's got the best camp this time. I know he's in the best mindset. I know he's ready to do this, and I am so excited. He's my hero, as you know. So I am so excited to see him go out there, and I'm going to be a nervous wreck watching him walk out there with just wanting to see the result that I want so bad. I was going to ask you that really fast before I go. I forgot to ask you. When you have a guy like DC going out there right now fighting in a fight like this, How different is it for you as far as the nerves and preparing when you're walking out there, knowing that you're coaching, but you're not necessarily being able to do the things to make the guy win? Like when you fought, like when you were out there, are you more nervous when you walk out there with DC, or were you more nervous when you walked out there for a championship fight when you were fighting and you were actually in control of your own punches and kicks?
Well, I'll explain it to you like this. When I started fighting, I was so freaking nervous that I'd be in the back room going, why the F am I doing this? I can't take these nerves. I don't want to do it. I want to go home. What am I doing here? I continued to feel that way. And then I win the title. And first defense, I'm feeling the same way. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. This is too much. The nerves are killing me. And of course, then I lose the title to Marek Petrowski in 94. And then I win again in 95, the light heavyweight title. And the nerves on that one were a lot less for whatever reason. And then my final fight against Marcus Reed, I basically, for whatever reason, man, the nerves were gone. I was anxious. I wanted to get out there and perform. I was like, I felt, I don't know, it was weird, right? So now coming to coaching, get into the big fights, man, I'm a wreck. I can't sleep at night. I got insomnia. It created insomnia for me, believe it or not. That all these fights, I couldn't sleep. My mind was racing. I got to screw it up. I can't screw it up. I got to do this. Oh, man. I had to get on freaking Ambien, then Xanax. Dude, I was on crazy ride.
Me too.
The night before, I couldn't sleep because I was so worried about if I F up and this and that. This is such a big fight. And, man, we can't lose. My heart's pounding. All that crap goes on. Just like when I was fighting, except different, but sort of the same. And then the more fights we got involved, now, to be honest with you, guess what? I don't hardly have any nerves. I got a little bit of nerves, but very, very few. It's a job. I need to be sharp and stay relaxed. The more sharp I get, the better my fighter do. The more relaxed I get, the more I can get my fighter relaxed. So I'm so much different now. So going into this, guess what? Come fight night, I won't be having any sleepless nights with DC. I will be sleeping because I'm going to know I wake up, I'm going to be fresh. I'm not going to be so tired that I can't keep my eyes open like I did for some of your guys' fights. But especially in Vegas, oh my God, I'm such a gambling maniac. I'm up there at the goddamn tables to 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning, 7 to 8 in the morning sometimes. Then I go, I get in to get some sleep, and of course I can't sleep. So again, I'm up almost 24 hours. I try to get some sleep. I close my eyes, but that's it. So then I have to get up and like 4 or 5 hours of just having my eyes closed and then going in there. So I'm not functioning that well as a coach.
Yeah.
But now, the way I am now, it's so much easier. So much easier. Relax, rest, sleep, get up. You do a great job.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. My walkouts when I fought at Mandalay Bay used to start at the 3-card table to get you. And then I would start walking from there, and then I would walk all the way all the way at the longest walkout in history because I had to go get Hob off the 3-card table. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, don't you remember that? I'd be telling Bob when we were at Mandalay, right? And you guys are going, Bob, when they going up? Oh, okay, I'll be there. And I'm at the gambling table going, okay, I got 15 minutes. Okay, all right.
That's funny, man. And for the people,
I've changed.
and for the people out there that are watching, they think fighters are like the movies that are like not scared of anything. I heard Mike Tyson sit there and talk about his fighting and when he was getting ready for fights, and he said he was literally scared before his fights. I've seen GSP talk about how nervous and scared he was. So it's like that's normal. So for all you guys watching right now, champions like Javier and stuff, being nervous and being, when you have something on the line like that, that's normal. All these guys that try to act like it's the movies and like I'm a savage killer beast that never gets nervous about anything. When you have something on the line that you can lose and get taken away from you like a win or whatever, you're going to be nervous. You're going to be worried about it. You're going to be worried about getting hurt or maybe getting punched or maybe getting a broken nose, but you're going to be worried that you're going to lose and you're going to lose that championship or you're going to let your team down. So it's normal. I just wanted to get that out there because a lot of people, they don't understand that.
Yeah, that's the key. You said the key word, lose.
Yeah.
Lose. If you had no chance of losing whatsoever, you're going to go out and fight. You're not going to lose no matter what. You know what happens to those nerves and that being afraid? That goes away, man. Yeah. But when you're afraid and you're nervous, you're you're in a situation where I could lose to this guy. I don't want to lose. We don't want to take the loss. We'll take the beating, but we don't want to take the loss. Well, I'll go in there knowing I'm going to take a beating, but if I win at the end, and I know I'm going to win at the end, hey, no problem. But as soon as I realized I could lose, oh, my God. It's just like singing, right? First time you enter singing, go out there and you bomb. No one applauds you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, but I think about what's the number one fear people have? Public speaking.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Public speaking. So imagine what it's like being a singer. Oh.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Absolutely. And I know you got to go, Hav. I'm sorry. But listen, go make a champion for us. And thank you for taking time out for us or for my show. You always do. I appreciate it. I'll check in with you right after the fight and see how everything's going and catch you updates and go take care of business. And good luck.
All right. Hey, is this my first time on? Was it good for you? First time on?
You know what? For your first time, Hav, not bad. I'll be honest with you. For your first time, not bad.
We're gonna improve.
We might need to do a couple more just to get you more, relaxed and,
All right.
We'll quit forgetting everything we're saying.
I'll back.
I predict
right,
you'll be
buddy.
back. That's my prediction. Thank you so much, Hav. Great talking to you.
All right. Bye.
Well, there you have it. Javier Mendez. Always a great conversation. My favorite guest. He's been on the show more than anybody else, as you can tell. But man, talk about somebody who's done so much in the sport. My head trainer for many years. He trains DC. He trains Khabib. He's trained all of us, and he's been in the corner of so many great fighters and so many great fights. And it's always great getting his insight, his input, and I love talking to him. So I hope you took a lot from it. And I hope you enjoyed the conversation. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Leave a comment and subscribe, please. We love to hear from you, and we love subscriptions because we feel special, and we want you to catch all the videos. We've done, guys, since July 29th, I did Bruce Buffer, Tyron Woodley, Daniel Cormier, Brad Slater, Stephan Bonner, Javier Mendez, and I got more lined up in the next couple of days. So we are knocking them out like 3 or more a week. So these things are going to keep coming. And the only way you're going to find out about it is if you subscribe. So subscribe to the channel and you'll get the updates. And we get some good stuff, guys. I mean, I try to get into great conversations with great people that I have some kind of connection with so we can talk about some interesting, fun stuff. And so far, you guys are enjoying it, and I really greatly appreciate the support. It's been overwhelming. I love reading the comments. I love interacting with you guys. Thank you so much for your comments and support. If you're listening to us on the audio platforms, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, you can leave a review there as well. You can subscribe to us there as well. I appreciate it so much. Thank you all. See you next time.